Hello, everybody.
Hi guys.
Mm, we are going to be talking about our writing because why not? Um, Alyssa is my best friend in the entire world. We've known each other for 9 years now. Been best friends
Oh,
for 9 years. Can you believe it?
no, well,
we have
crazy put up with me for so long.
it wasn't always easy, but I love her.
I feel the love.
We have to plan something big for our 10th year anniversary.
Oh my god. Yeah, we should. We really should.
Yeah, because that's like a huge milestone in our friendship.
Hmm. You would be the third friend I've had for 10 plus years. So,
I
yeah.
think nice. I'm
I
not
don't
sure how many
right.
I had. I mean, I've had friends that lasted for many years, but I don't really talk to them much anymore, so we're not really friends anymore.
Yeah, I get that. Sleepy, sleepy. Uh, I was gonna say something, but then I blanked.
How's your writing going? Have you been writing? We need to start. I see you trying to cover your face, little Missy, Miss Procrastinator, Miss I Never Write.
I need motivation to write.
Well, once a week I will video chat you and we shall write just to force you to write.
Fine by me. My lips are really chapped.
Why?
Because it's hot as hell here. So my hair's all.
So, have you made any progress in writing at all?
Let me take a gander. By that, I need to unlock my iPad because I have my laptop, iPad. So that way, when I do write and I need to look at notes and stuff, I can just go. Um, let's see. A while ago, what was it? Okay, so the 1st of July, I did write at because I had a 4-day weekend.
Hmm.
So I did take the 1st of July to write a little bit. I wrote around, let's see, 750 something words in total because I wrote at 2 different times.
Hmm.
Yeah, so um
You act. Whoa, too new.
hmm?
I said you actually wrote too new.
I know it's a freaking miracle. Um Actually, technically, no. Yeah. So on the 17th of last month, I finished chapter 3 of Unbreakable Bond and then started chapter 4.
Nice. You're actually making progress. It's slow, but it's coming.
Hey, don't make fun of my progress, lady. I don't appreciate that.
Love you.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Um,
it's like pulling teeth getting you to write sometimes.
it's hard for me to make
Whenever you
myself.
do write, when you do write, you end up scrapping it all.
Not always.
So it's like even when you make progress, you don't make progress.
No, I don't always scrap it. I scrap a chunk that I don't like, and then I'll rewrite it. But for when I was working on our book, if you guys didn't already know, we're writing a book together. It's a very, 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 very slow progress. And I haven't worked on it a bit because
Yeah,
I was
because
trying to
it's
work on my first book.
same. It's like yeah, it's like a side project for us both. So we're not working on it that often. It'll come out one of these days.
Maybe. So for chapter 4, I did write a total of 871 words.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's progress. I was actually just me and Alex were playing Minecraft and then jumped on COD because I got bored. And uh and then we switched over to COD, and that's when I messaged Jahara. I'm like, do you want to do that live stream? Because I was bored.
Yeah, we were talking about it.
Yeah, we were talking about it, and then I got bored, and I'm like, let me message Jahara. Let's see if this lady wants to do it. But
Well,
what
I was
about you?
actually writing. What were you saying?
I was gonna ask you, how's your writing going?
Good. I was actually writing when you messaged me. I started writing after I got off that author podcast I was on earlier today. Well, I ate and watched a little bit of TV first to unwind, and then I started writing. I'm working on another novella for this series. You know how I'm making novellas for this series, right?
Yeah.
The first one comes out tomorrow, actually. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I did not. You don't tell me.
I usually tell you, but I always have. But it's like I'm so used to telling you everything that it's like I think that I do tell you, and sometimes it's like, wait a minute, I don't think I ended up actually telling her because it's like I always like I have to tell Alyssa this, but then I don't. I'm like, oh wait, I have to tell Alyssa this.
Yeah. So 90% of the time, you do tell me, but then there's that small little 10% where you think you told me, but you actually didn't.
Well, I have. So my novellas there's gonna be 10 of them. Okay, all only 100 pages. I know 10 seems like a lot. It's just I have so many ideas because Kalista's been around for 1,000 years. So there's like a lot of many I can write now.
Are you gonna do it based on like certain points of her life? For like all 10 of them, or what?
Kind of. They're all about her many adventures she's been on. And it's also kind of showing along the way as a side storyline. Well, actually, it's kind of one of the main storylines. Is so in the first book, you haven't read this series yet, but in the first book, it's mentioned that she had a romantic relationship with Joan of Arc, and Joan of Arc is one of the main characters in this series. And it kind of shows their relationship from the moment they met in the first novella, which was kind of an enemies to lovers thing because they kind of hated each other when they first met. And then the last novella of this series of novellas will be when she dies, like it's burned at the stake and stuff. So,
wow. Okay.
It's kind of their story.
This is why I say you're evil.
Okay, I'm not the one that killed Joan of Arc. She's a real person that actually died, so you cannot blame me for things.
I know. As soon as you said her name, I'm like, I know who she's talking about. and the time period. So thanks for that. But again, you're still evil because you made your main character's life hell. I remember because I had to help you out with the vampire's creation with some ideas because you were stuck.
And when we were on video chat a few weeks ago, and I was playing innocent, I was like, I never hurt my character. So you literally went through all my tweets trying to find a snippet of mine because I posted this law of Kalista being very traumatic, and I was like, rude. You literally went, and I tweet a lot, so you went through a lot of tweets to get to that snippet.
And I found like 2 of them.
Yeah, one of them wasn't so bad. There was no proof of that in that one.
No, but it sounded bad. In a good way. In a good way, I should say. But yeah, evil. Evil author, but also really good author because you draw your readers in. I remember when I read the Jasmine Perez series, and by like the first couple lines, you had me hooked.
Oh, thank you, Bestie.
You're welcome. I did talk to Porcelain and asked her if she's almost done.
Oh, really? She woke up this morning, and one of the first things she did was start reading my prequel to finish, and she finished it in the morning, and she started the Curse's Light, which is the first book of my second series, and she's already, like, I spoke to her shortly before the live, and she was like, chapter 11. She's been reading most of today.
Again, you hook, caught, singer. Like, seriously, you're really good at drawing people's attention in by the first couple lines.
Thank you. That means a lot.
You're welcome. I'm saying that especially because of that. Your books will go on that shelf. Top one.
Oh.
Yeah. Top one or second one. I don't know. We'll see because I have to move shit around. But you're going on my bookshelf. And then whatever books I get, down to where my PS5 is at. PS5, PS4. And then if once I get no room there, books will go back on my desk. Unless I get another bookshelf, which is.
I can't wait for you to read the rest of my books.
I know. I think I'm gonna get The Curse's Light since I already read the Jasmine Perez series.
I don't think you've read the prequel yet.
I don't think so. But I want to read the Curse's Light series first, the duology. And then you don't have a prequel of that one, do you?
I don't have of the Curse Light. No, I do not have a prequel. I do have a sequel series planned, which will also be a duology, but I have no idea when that will come out.
Okay, so I'll get that, and then get the Jasmine Press series and the prequel, and then get the Realm of Monsters series. Awesome. I'm actually really surprised I remember that.
Remembered all my books?
Yeah, I published like 8 of them. No, technically, this one that's coming out tomorrow will be 9.
Yes.
So
I published Vampire's Creation in June, and then I'm publishing this novella tomorrow, and I have another novella that is about almost halfway done, and it should only take me a few days to write because it's only 100 pages. And then my last novella, since I've never really written novellas, and I'm not great with shorter stories just because I always have all these ideas and they always end up being like 400 pages at least. I have a beta reader who's reading my novellas, and my last novella only took her a couple of days to read. She was hooked. So, yeah. So
Uh,
I'm hoping to get the novella out soon. Is one that I'm working on.
okay. Um, I'll be right back. I'm doing laundry, so let me switch loads.
Okay. I wonder if I can share my screen on here. I never played with StreamYard that much.
Okay, I'm back.
I was playing around because I never really played around with all the buttons on StreamYard. So my knowledge StreamYard is kind of limited. But I clicked a button and there's an option to share screen because I was kind of curious if there would be. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it's present, right?
Yeah. But yeah, the scene I'm currently writing in this novella is a battlefield scene. So there's a lot of fighting, action, and bloodshed.
I love how you say there's a lot of bloodshed. You're happy about that part, I swear.
Well, it's always fun with bloodshed.
Yes, it's always fun when there's bloodshed. Never thought those words would come out from my mouth.
What else will you get from me, my best friend? The stuff you have to deal with.
There's stuff that you have to deal with when it comes to mwah. Uh,
But yeah, I really like this scene I just wrote. I mean, I'm technically still writing it. I thought I was done, but I ended up adding a few things, but it's mostly done. You want to hear it?
yeah.
Okay. Um, hold on. So let me find it. Find where it started. Okay. Um, Kalista avoided a few swords swinging in the air, never pausing, stabbing a few people as she walked by. Finally, she stopped in her tracks. She heard a couple people behind her, different set of footprints. She held tightly on her daggers and waited, her ears picking up every slight sound. She heard a sword swinging and ducked. She spun around, kneeling near the ground, and kicked one guy in his knee, which buckled, causing him to fall to the ground. She kicked her leg up, kicking the other guy in the face. Then she swung around, her foot being placed on the ground and her daggers out as she stood in a fighting stance. The men stood back up. One swung his sword at her. She stabbed him. I can't speak today. She stabbed his gut, ducking so the sword doesn't hit her. Then she grabbed his hand, stopping the sword movements as the other man ran to her, sword in the air. She used her other dagger to stab him in the gut as well. Then she used her now free hand to grab his wrist, stopping his sword movements as well. Then she forced the swords out of both of their hands and swiftly swung them in the air. She stabbed them both in the chest simultaneously. She grabbed her own daggers, wiping the blood off them and placing them in her belt. Then she grabbed the swords and examined them. They could come in handy. Fresh blood filled her senses. It clouded her brain. And that's I have a like one more paragraph for the scene, but I had I was adding a few things to this paragraph of her. So basically, I'm writing where she because she's a vampire and she's still learning to control her urges, but she kind of couldn't get out of being a part of this battle. So she is trying to fight and not become full like an animal, basically. But right now the blood and stuff is overfilling her senses, and she's finding it hard to contain her vampire urges.
Okay. It sounded good, though.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You and your fucking stab through the gut comment. Flashbacks.
Oh my gosh. I was afraid you were gonna flashback to that.
What do you expect? Like,
because you and Mom will never live down the first character I really killed off.
no, because it's your fucking debut book. Your first ever book, plus your first ever series.
Technically, it was my second book. It was the second book that she died.
Whatever. Still first series. Okay, miss.
The thing that gets Mom is the fact that even though she wasn't really on that long, what gets my mom is the fact that it was just so sudden. And the comment of the knife slid in her like butter.
Yeah, that got to me too. But it was the way that you fucking described it.
Well, I'm glad I made you guys feel that. That's the whole point.
So now, whenever I hear, oh, gut stab. Kate! The knife slid in her like butter. She's gonna kill me.
But we'll see each other in person again one day.
Yeah, maybe not. Especially with you and Alex talking shit.
I could just message it and be like, hey, take us on a road trip. Just don't tell her you're coming here.
He would do that too.
He would.
Yeah, look.
I like that boy.
I like how you call him a boy, even though he's older than you.
He's older than you too.
Yeah, I know. He's...
But it sounds better than I like that man.
I call him a bear.
Why?
Because he's big and fuzzy like a bear. Wow. Even Devin called him a freaking bear. And he just laughed at it. So he's used to it by now, to be honest. That's what he gets for dating me. He gets my wonderful bestie and my wonderful sister and sister-in-law. And bullshit that comes through my baby daddy. But we're not going to talk about that. Yeah.
That's what we're talking about our writing. My writing right now, I'm trying to figure out how to Oh, I'm not trying to figure it out because I've got it pretty good so far. I just stopped abruptly because we were going to do this, but I'm still writing about her, the blood and stuff filling her senses and overwhelming her, and she's trying her hardest to not go completely ballistic and start just going animalistic almost, you know. So she's
Mm-hmm.
trying her hardest not to, and she gets pretty. In this chapter, what I have planned out, she gets pretty close to doing that, or she even starts to do that until she sees Joan across the battlefield, and that Joan kind of, and I'm going to describe Joan as kind of like her anchor, bringing her down to earth.
Are you the way you're gonna describe the blood getting to her senses? Are you gonna describe all 5 of her senses?
I didn't think about that, but I could, like,
Yeah,
really show that it's overwhelming her completely.
yeah. So you could be um, like the red of the blood clouds her vision.
Yeah, I like that. Thanks for the
That's
suggestion.
You're welcome. That's one. That's sight. Two, the iron smell of blood choking her.
Oh, I like that.
Um, so that's 3.
Hold on, let me write this down before I forget, because I will forget. Okay, so where am I? Didn't you already sort? Okay, so red blood clouded her vision. The iron smell. I forgot the L in clouded because I'm not smart. Okay, so the iron smell choked her.
Mm,
The pumping of the veins. Hold on. The,
the slowing of the heartbeat.
they're already dead, so she wouldn't be.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or
Um.
from the leftover, the still people that's still alive, the pounding of their hearts, the rush of the blood flow, driving her slowly insane.
Yeah.
That's hearing, so that's 3. We still need touch and taste.
I don't know if I can do. I don't think I can do touch, but I can do taste. I'll just do the 4 senses because I don't see how touch will be, come in handy in this
Is
scenario.
she wearing armor? Like what
She's
is
not really
she?
wearing armor. She's kind of unprotected. Right now, she has her daggers in her outfit because she has them hidden in her outfit, but she's carrying 2 swords.
Okay, but you could do um for touch. You could do the wet, hot stickiness from the blood spray coating her skin.
True, because she did just kill, so she'll have blood on her skin. That's a good idea. Hold on. So the iron. Okay, so the sound of a heartbeat across the battlefield, rang in her ears,
Mm-hmm.
and then so the what'd you say for touch? What was
For
it?
touch, the hot, wet stickiness from the blood spray. It would probably be good for that part to also describe where the blood spray hit her, like in the face, on the arms,
Yeah.
whatever, where you think it would get to her. It would be good to write that down for that part.
put the hot, wet stickiness on her arms and face, coating her skin with blood.
Yeah. And then taste. You said that she's a vampire, right?
Yeah, so she can probably like taste the blood like in the air.
Yeah. Like she can taste the sweet, coppery taste of the blood or something like that.
Awesome, you want to hear this paragraph now?
Yeah.
Okay. Fresh blood filled her senses. It clouded her brain. Red blood clouded her. I might change clouded because I originally did it clouded her brain. So I might change that line, the first line, before I wrote red blood clouded her vision. So what should I change clouded with for it clouded her brain?
Misted.
It misted her brain?
Like a red mist clouded. Not clouded. Overtook her brain?
Okay, that sounds good.
I got distracted because my phone buzzed. My bad.
Okay, now it should be good. Fresh blood filled her senses. A red mist overtook her brain. Red blood clouded her vision. The iron smell choked her. The sound of a heartbeat across the battlefield rang in her ears. The coppery taste filled her mouth to the brim. The hot, wet stickiness on her arms and face, coating her skin red with blood.
Sounds good.
Awesome. I like it.
That's good. There you go.
I'm excited for my better reader to read this scene. She's read my first Realm Monsters book and loved it, and she owns the Vampire's Creation. So.
Isn't that why you made a beta's reader thing on Discord?
Yeah. For if people need help finding better readers or whatnot.
That's good, because me and Devin were actually talking about that.
About the better reader thing?
We were talking about Devin wants to publish I think she wants to publish the princess books that she was talking about. There's like 5 in total. I can't remember if it's those or her Kissing Cowgirls one that she wants to make first into a book/book series. But
does she plan to self-publish or traditional publish?
She's unsure about that.
Well, I'm very happy with this scene. Thank you for your help.
You are welcome. Hey, now it's on video. But I'm glad that you like.
Chapter was. What?
I said I'm glad that you like that idea, because when you said senses, I'm like, she should use all 5 senses. Ooh.
Yeah, it shows like it's really overtaking every sense, every will in her being not to lose control, which she's about to lose control where I'm at.
Yeah.
And
so, that part, the readers could actually get a sense how it's driving her crazy.
Yeah, and kind of because it's mentioned before, like her having trouble controlling her urges, and this is like before Realm Monsters, and so at this point she doesn't have any control over her urges, so she tries to stay away from fresh blood the best she can. In the Realm Monsters, she has she can control it a bit better. She still, if it's like too much, it can still overtake her, but she has more of a handle on it than she does here because this is like centuries beforehand. So at this point, so you get to see her before she has any handle on it. So you get to see how hard it really is for vampires to control their bloodlust.
Yeah. So there you go. There's something that would help with that. You're welcome. I'm a good friend when I want to be.
You're the best friend.
Ah, it's a miracle. Um, let me see where I'm at on Unbreakable Bond. Okay, so for those who don't know, I think I explained a little bit of it to Jahara. Unbreakable Bond is based off the first finished book I published on Wattpad when I was 17. It's like the same story plot idea about a witch being soulmates with a werewolf. But it's tweaked a lot. So it's not really like a rewrite of it. It's a lot different. Like in the original, it was high schoolers, and the main character's name was Ella. This time it's Cora. I think the only name that stayed is the male lead character, and then I think the mother of the female character. So yeah, and there's new characters in this one and so forth, but it's based off like no one really thought that werewolves and witches could be soulmates. You'll see that mostly in like other werewolves, vampires, very rare, humans being matches, whatever. But but the female lead Ella and the male lead, I can't remember his name, and I'm not gonna look. Their soulmate bond is like really strong and everything. And towards the end of the book, for I made it to an alpha, Ella gets kidnapped by her best friend. That's not gonna happen in this one. No kidnapping, because I don't feel like writing a second one, unless I feel like it after I finish this book. But we shall see. But the new like plot in this is actually the female lead and the male lead are descendants or like reincarnation of these gods and goddesses that I made up for this story. I gotta look at my notes. So okay. So the main female lead and main male lead's names are Cora River, and then Daniel Bang. And they're descendants or like reincarnations of, let's see. Daniel is the reincarnation of Rayton. The god of werewolves and strength. And Cora is the reincarnation of Parta. I don't know how I'm going to have people pronounce her name. I might change her name. But she's the goddess of witchcraft and magic. So that's why Cora's a witch and Daniel's a werewolf. It makes more sense. But yeah. I'm just going through it right now. Like I have other gods. I have Elaine, Inland. It's a genderless, non-binary god. That has they're known as god of visions, past, present, and future. And then there's Rose. She's the goddess of love and lust. Then Ubrim, he is the god of night. So he works together with not really anyone. Then there's Kronos. But instead of a male male character, it's a female. She's the goddess of day. Her and Ubrim are siblings. Then Pythias is goddess of hunting. She's Raisin's sibling. So that's her brother. But they're all friends, and the goddess of werewolf strength is in love with the goddess of witchcraft and magic and stuff. So
hold on.
You want to pause your stuff?
Yeah.
Like, okay. So, but Raisin and Krita was actually humans once, and they were like really little kids. All the gods and goddesses I named off, they were all kids, human kids, till one day, I think it was another goddess. I wrote it down on paper, but I don't know where it's at. But just a long story short, they were just kids, and love together, and but they never admitted their feelings as humans. But when they changed over to gods and goddesses, they didn't admit their feelings either. So, their friend Elaine Inland, the god of visions, had a vision about where they were reincarnated as a witch and a werewolf, the beings that they created. So, yeah. And there's like there's 2 colleges, and they're kind of like within like there's like the College of Witchcraft and stuff, and here's the College of Werewolves, and they're just like this far apart. I don't know how many like miles or whatever there is, but there's like a dense forest in the middle of them, and to keep them separate and whatnot. Jahara actually helped me came up with the name.
I did. I remember that.
Of the college.
I don't remember what it was now, but but I remember helping you.
Yeah, so it's a college for witches and warlocks, because there's warlocks too, because witchcraft, of course, goes to witches, and magic can just go for both. It's called the University of the Craft. So, yeah, because the college itself is heavily based on potion brewing, familiar contracts, and spellcasting. So that's all like different crafts that they have to come up. So yeah,
Yeah, nice.
yeah. But
I'll. What were you gonna say?
huh?
What were you saying? Were you about to
Oh,
say something?
I
Okay.
blanked.
Uh, well, I will talk a little bit about my novellas because I know I mentioned the Realm Monsters before, but my novellas are still very new, so I'll just kind of explain what they're about a little bit. So the first one that's coming out tomorrow is called Callista's Adventures: Preventing a War, because they're all gonna be titled Callista's Adventures, and there's something after it because it's about Callista's adventures she's had. Um, and Athena, who is a side character in the Realm Monsters trilogy. This is the first time Callista meets Athena, and she shows up and tells her um, that she has a mission for her. And then she sends her to France, where to meet Joan, to so that the and tell them about the mission. She doesn't give them any details really. She sends them to Athens, Greece, and gives them a map and they have to follow it, and then like she's only there to give them the next step of the journey. Like that's all she's there for really. um and they hate each other, so it's not easy sailing. There's fighting, there's threatening, there's insults, and yeah, they hated each other. When I talk about fighting, there wasn't just arguing; there was some physical fights there too. So it was bad. But as they're forced to spend this journey together, they slowly start getting closer and closer until they start falling for each other. They're still not together yet, but they have fallen for each other. I just don't think they fully realized it themselves yet. Um, but so they end up so they have to so basically they're on this mission to retrieve something to prevent two countries from going to war, um because it's the only thing that can stop the war from happening. um and you see a lot of their relationship during the adventure. Then the novella I'm currently working on is actually in the middle of a war, so you're actually getting to see the war this time instead of trying to prevent it in the beginning stages of war. You see the actual war, um, but Greece and France are at war, and Joan, who we all know from history, was in a war. So she's in for fighting for France, but nobody knows it's her except for Callista, because in the history she dressed up as a man and stuff until she was discovered. But and then Callista's fighting for the side of Greece, so now they have this whole forbidden thing between them as well, as they're still fighting for their feelings for each other. Now they're not allowed to be seen together by either of their gods. So, but of course they're not gonna listen.
Um, that sounds interesting. And I like how you involved like people from history, gods from history. So it lets your readers know what like realm slash time period this is all involved in.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, I like it.
Thanks.
Ariel, I would like to say everyone else would like it too. Um,
Well, like I said, only one person has read the Preventing a War one, and she really enjoyed it. So
yeah. So I think anyone who reads this will like it.
especially if you're looking for a sapphic fantasy.
And you're pretty good at that. Sorry, my ear itches, and I've been wearing these earrings since yesterday. So I'm trying to fix it right now. Okay. Here we go. Uh, yeah, I tried to work on my stories like after I get off work because I have to stay for like another hour or so to wait for my sister and my sister-in-law to, well, mostly my sister-in-law to get off work. But I've been reading. I finished. I just got these books like the couple of weekends ago. I think it was last weekend or whatever. So it's like they're standalones, but you can read them in like whatever order that they're published in. So yeah, I got 3 of them because there's only 3 out, I believe. Yeah, I think Emily Mitchider, I think that's how you pronounce her last name, um, is supposed to release another one this year. But I got done reading this because it was all over Book Talk. And like I'm on the dirty side of Book Talk. Okay, Book Talk. But it's really good. It's a dark, says it on the um a dark I gotta look at it. A dark temporary romance. There we go. It's like and the series is called a Never After series, which is interesting. This is kind of like a retelling, modern retelling of Peter Pan, but the villain gets the girl. In that case, it's Huck. He ends up getting the girl and lives happy ever after. And it was really good. I couldn't put the book down at all.
Nice.
Yeah. But really, really good. She has another series called the Sugar Lake series, and there's 5 books in there. The first is Beneath the Stars. Second is Beneath the Stands. Beneath the Hood. Beneath the Surface. And honestly, just by the titles alone, it sounds interesting.
I'm reading kind of nothing but indie books at the moment because I'm trying to read all my indie books. I just finished yesterday the second book in the Warriors of Bria, which you remember Tabby. She was the yeah. This is her series.
I was reading the first one when I left.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And I own the first 4 because my mom bought books 3 and 4 for my birthday in December. Book 5 has not yet been published, so I own all the books that's out. And I finished book 2. I plan probably won't be today because I want to get writing done, and I've had a busy day with doing 2 lives. But tomorrow, hopefully, I want to at least get a start on book 3. Maybe read about 100 pages at least, depending on my mood for reading and how into the book I get. But I'm very excited for it, especially with how book 2 ended. And I also have this book that's actually not fantasy, which is like not like me, right? But I read book 1 last month for Pride Month, and I have the art copies for books 2 and 3, which I plan to read. And then I plan to read another book that I also have the art copy of, which is I think it's kind of like a Merlin, King Arthur retelling, whatever. So there's that, and then I have this book. Hold on, let me get to it. which is actually the person I told you that better is better reading my novellas. This is
Mhm.
her first book. Her second book comes out in November, and I'm very excited for this one.
I'm about to read Scarred by Emily. It's a dark royal romance. So all of her books from this series alone, I think, is dark romance, which I didn't think I would be into, but the first book caught me. So yeah, I have other books. I have that I saw on Book Talk. I have, what is it called? The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. And then I got the first like uh, 6 books of the Throne of Glass series. I think that's it. Oh, I got. Alright, got it. So I have, yeah, I have the first 6 books of the Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and then I have The King of Wrath by Anna Hong. Um, and it's like the first book out of 7 for the 7 Deadly Sins. And then I got These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong that I'm gonna read, which I'm excited for.
You're are you interested in like popular books? Because all those like these violent delights, Throne of Glass are books that I've heard about a lot because they're pretty popular.
I see them all over TikTok, and what actually draws me in is the title and the cover. I know that they say don't judge a book by its cover, but the cover also helps to draw people in along with the
Yeah,
title.
yeah.
So I don't really
I
care if it's popular.
yeah. I was just wondering because I know there are people that do prefer popular books, and it's not on purpose or anything. It's just what they like. Me, I don't typically stay away from popular books. There are a few that I really like. Like obviously, you know how much I love Harry Potter. Then there's Six of Crows, which I also really love, and then there's Percy Jackson, which is a newer fandom because I finally read those or some of them. I'm still reading them, but those are really the only popular books. I don't purposely stay away from popular books. I just tend to like the more underrated ones for some reason. I don't know, but most people do end up judging books by their covers. Like I know they say don't, but most people do. Me, I'm the oddball out here because I actually don't. Like I really do not care about the cover. Like there have been times where I didn't even realize what the cover was until I brought it home. Like seriously,
Yeah,
I
because
read the title.
for
I read the
you
title.
look at the title.
I look at the title, and if it sounds like a fantasy, something I might like, then I'll read the back, and the back is what hooks me. The description.
Yeah. Barnes and Noble or some other book place used to do this thing where they will wrap books and like brown tissue paper or something, write the title and then write like a small little summary about what the book is about, not exactly the description, but what the summary to them is or whatever, and they used to sell the books like that.
Hmm, interesting.
Yeah. But no, like I have no one really talked about like the House of Night series till like a couple years ago, because they're talking about making it into a TV show now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I've only ever heard you even talk about that one, but
yeah. The Vampire Academy books.
I've heard.
No one really talked about it when I first started reading about it. And I only got into it because employee at Barnes and Noble, where we used to live at, that I was friends with, because I went there so frequently, actually recommended it to me, and that's the only way I got into it. Even like the manga I read, no one recommends it, or some I have. I've came across on TikTok, but that's about it. And I have a lot of manga. I have like 45. Hold on, gotta check. I have so manga. I have 46, and novels I have 41.
Nice.
Yeah, I was with Alex all weekend because we had a quinta yesterday to go to,
Yeah.
which was a coworker's daughter's birthday. That was fun. We went to Walmart and I was looking for a book that I saw and that kind of like drew me in, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to get it until I looked it up on Google, I think. I'm like, ooh, that looks interesting. But I couldn't find it. But yeah, I actually have to go.
That's alright. We were talking about only doing this an hour, and it's been an hour. So
Yeah, but maybe like, what do you do Wednesdays?
not much. I don't think. Why?
Maybe we could do writing sprints between me and you these days,
Maybe.
depending on how you feel. Like, we don't have to go live, but we could just like video chat on Discord and do it like that.
Yeah, I like that. And then you and me can just try to write.
Yeah, that way it's in the middle of the week. Because I usually go over to Alex's from Thursday to Saturday.
All right. Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
I will talk to you later.
Of course. Thank you, anyone who watched our live. Even those who comes after the live is finished, thank you. We do appreciate it, especially her. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to Jahara.
Oh.
Subscribe, like the video, comment questions that you want answered the next time we do a live stream between me and her. And yeah.
Until next time.
Yeah. Bye, guys.